Hi, my name's Emma and I'm the owner of the Cupcake Company on the Wynd in Letchworth Garden City. The Cupcake Company is a very special little shop. So on the one hand you've got lots of traditional bakes and cakes, but often with a bit of a modern twist. Now a lot of customers, they might fancy a cupcake with their coffee in the afternoon. They can come in from the street, have a look at what's in the cupcake cabinet on the day. There'll always be a variety of different flavours and buttercream selections, and they can make up their own box or individual cupcake from that and take that away with them on the day. So the second part of the shop is the informal cake club, rows of cakes and the sampling plates. The idea of the informal cake club is that you can come in and you can spend a bit of time tasting and sampling the homemade traditional cakes that we make, and from that you can choose exactly the right slice of cake for you. Funnily enough, when people come into the shop with their own baking related questions, what they really want to find out about is decorating the cakes and specifically about the buttercreams that we use. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I make my buttercream. I'm going to talk you through a couple of my favourite piping nozzles and the different effects that you can get with them. And also I'm going to show you how to make 1 or 2 buttercream flowers that you can make at home to add to your own cakes. The first step is to make the buttercream. I'll use a normal size 250 gram block of salted butter. I'll melt that for about 30 seconds in the microwave, and then to that I'll add a normal 500 gram pack of icing sugar. And at that point, before I start to mix, if you want to add any flavourings or any colours to the buttercream, you do it then. I also add either a splash of milk or a splash of hot water just to get the right consistency. And then I'll whip that up, and when it's the right consistency, I'll use that, I'll pipe, and once the piping is finished, because the butter was slightly melted, it will then set a little on the cake. So first I'm going to show you a couple of my favourite piping tips and how I use them to get different effects on cakes and cupcakes. You'll see that I've got the piping tip in the bag, but I've not yet snipped the end off. Because what you want to do is you want to shake the bag and get all the buttercream down to the end to get rid of as many air bubbles as possible. And once you've done that, and only then, should you snip the end off the bag and just push that nozzle finally into place. So the first tip I'm going to show you is this one. You can see from the end that it's quite clawed and sharp. But you can get a number of effects from this. So if you pull it along, you can get quite a nice lined effect. If you swirl it, you can make a swirl that looks a bit like you would get on a Mr. Whippy. And also you can just pipe little stars with it, and this is the effect that you get. So the second piping tip that I'm using, you'll notice, is a little clawed at the end. It comes in on itself. I use this one quite a lot to pipe buttercream roses. You can also use it to do long pipes to go around the edges of cakes. You can also use it to make little stars like this. For the final part of the demonstration, I'm going to show you how you can easily make buttercream daffodils at home that you can then add to your own cakes. So I'm going to start off with this piping tip. You'll notice it's shaped a bit like a teardrop, and I'm going to have the wider part of the teardrop to the centre of the flower and the thinner part to the edge. And with it, I'm just going to pipe 5 buttercream petals. Now you'll see at the moment that the petals are quite round in shape, and to make a daffodil we need them to be slightly pointed. So I'm going to slightly point each of those petals. Now I'm going to take another piping tip that has got a small round hole at the end of the nozzle, and I'm just going to pipe the trumpets of the daffodils. And there you go, 1 buttercream daffodil. And if you make a number of these on little greaseproof paper squares, you then pop them into the fridge, and after about 10 minutes or so, they'll be firm. You can just peel them off, pop a bit of buttercream on your cake, and place them where you want them to go. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial, and I hope you're going to have a go at it at home by yourself. But if you don't want to, and you want to come down and try some of ours, you know where we are.